can't sleep, trapped in my own mind. Anxiety. Drowning in the darkness, just can't see the light. Depression. Doubtful, insecure, can I really do this? Imposter syndrome. I'm alone, unloved, just feel invisible. That's loneliness. We're not therapists, but we need one.
Hello, and welcome to We're Not Therapists, but we need one.
The podcast where we have honest and vulnerable conversations about our mental health with one another.
I'm Jay,
And I'm Anthony, and neither of us are therapists.
but we're trying to help ourselves and each other by sharing our experiences and feelings.
In this show, we'll deep dive into topics like anxiety, depression,
Self-esteem, trauma, and more.
we'll talk about how they affect us,
How we cope.
and what we've learned along the way.
We're not doing this to bash or blame anyone.
Especially our families, who may have contributed to our mental health challenges,
We're doing this to heal and grow.
and hopefully inspire others who can relate and open your mind to your own healing.
We also want to warn you that this show may contain some sensitive and triggering content.
We'll be talking about personal and painful things that happen to us and how they still affect us to this day.
If you're not comfortable with that, or if you feel like you need professional help,
This show may not be for you, but
if you're ready to join us on this journey of self-discovery and self-improvement, we're glad to have you.
we're not experts, but we're honest and we're not alone.
Now, let's start the timer. Anthony, how do you feel today? Anthony, as I sit here in my therapist gear accidentally because I'm still dressed for work, slip on my glasses. How are you feeling today?
I am so tired today, but
Glare.
seeing you log in fully dressed in a cardigan with a dress shirt and a tie and looking like I really am visiting you for therapy really has improved my energy levels there for a second.
Next week, I can't wait until you just accidentally walk in your office and there's like a lounge chair.
Oh my God, I believe it. Well, I've got enough space for it. If you can get all this other shit out of here, like all the stuff that we need to work around the house, ooh, that's daunting.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
It's stuff for replacing the floors. We just, since the holidays have come around, like everything's been sort of delayed. And so we've got to get back to doing the floors, but it's just been like, we've been, I will say last weekend we could have, but I don't know. I think we've just been enjoying each other's company, knowing that it's going to get done at some point.
And that is worth it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm good today. A little tired, but I woke up tired. So here we are.
It's just the millennial way.
Yeah, it really is. And, but yeah, otherwise it's been fine. Work's been a little bit annoying because of some issues, but nothing too crazy. We talked a little bit last week about like drinking and things like that. And we've been doing we've been doing dry January, and, it's been really interesting because I haven't done that ever. So, I've taken to alcohol as a coping mechanism. And so being off of it for 14 days now.
That's, month is flying by. You're doing well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not really all that bad, actually. So coping regularly. And yeah.
You don't realize how much you would say, I think I need a glass of wine or something after an event or after a day. For example, today, I would 100% have a glass of wine.
Today was not a bad day at work, but it was just one of those days where I was like, I am so tired of dealing with XYZ issue, and I just, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, there's a cat that seems to step on everything.
Well, how are you today, Jay?
I'm
sorry, I'm not
fine.
wearing my therapy.
Yeah,
here.
if you could try harder next time, that would be nice.
I will not be doing that.
I'm fine. Let's see. So, yeah, last time we talked about drinking, which was the first episode after our break.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Phew. Sorry, I had to catch up. Um, Over my time off, I really wasted a lot of it being lazy and just not caring, which I'm fine with. I needed that. Everything's great.
Right.
But I did recognize that one of my things I wanted to work on this year was improving like my health choices and things like that. And so that involved me making sure that I fit in the things I needed to do and keeping a proper schedule to get things done. Because last year, all it was me chasing things. I felt like from the end of June until clear through December, I was just chasing my days, trying to get shit done. So I have built this world now where I live through my calendar a little bit more, and I've scheduled in my gym time. I've scheduled in like my sleep schedule and everything, so I can kind of visually see my time off and things like that. And I will say, I'm really busy right now. During the weekdays. And so the weekdays are just kind of this marathon of running, but having the calendar schedule built has made it so much more doable.
Yeah.
And at the weekends, I definitely am like, hey, don't really want to do much. And so I take some downtime because like days like today, work was stressful. There was a lot going on. My group's planning to push out a big program within, I think, 36 days or something like that. And it's lots happening and it's nerve-wracking. But on top of that, it was a hectic day. And then I come home, we got to record a show. I have the gym. I even have dinner after the gym that I have to go to tonight.
Oh, damn.
And so it's just bam, 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 bam. So literally, I'm fine. I'm just very busy at the second. And that's a lot to take on when you kind of step above and look at it from a grand scheme. You're like, fuck, Jay, you wake up at 5 a.m. and you are on a run until you go to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, so I also got myself a planner because I will look at my phone's calendar. I used to live by it for work, but I kind of don't want to get myself too endeared to my phone. I'm trying to work myself away from it more.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'm really trying. To the point I deleted Facebook.
Good for you.
Not as an account. I just got rid of the apps and stuff so I wouldn't check it. So, I didn't make a post about it. So, if you listen to this and I'm not active on Facebook, now you know.
I wish you would have made a really
like,
dramatic post about it.
I thought about just saying something because part of it is because Facebook is no longer fact checking and they're allowing explicitly against gay people, you can do these certain marginalizations, specifically against gay, trans, and queer people. You can question their mental health. And it's it is specifically worded to be about gay, queer, and trans people. And I'm just okay, so you couldn't do this to a straight person, but straight people can call into question your mental health because you are gay or trans or queer. And so that was sort of my last straw where I was you know what? I think I'm over this. I can't just sit around and be subject to somebody else's, fucking homophobia. And yeah, anyways, so for my mental health, I got rid of it.
It's so weird because these large companies like Meta and stuff like that hire so many queer people.
Yep.
It's just so weird to me that would be it's so weird.
Don't ask me because I don't know, but it is very much it's funny because I saw a post about it and I didn't believe it at first because, the very first thing that I see, if I see something on Facebook and it's about Facebook, I generally think that it's untrue. But the person who posted it was a reliable source. So he's very well informed, he's intelligent. So I started looking into it because he had put the pathing that you could go to read the screenshot that he shared. And so I went down that little rabbit hole and I was oh shit, this is for real. You could just legit Like, say that somebody who is gay or trans or queer has mental health issues, and that is completely acceptable on Facebook, even if you find it derogatory as a gay, queer, or trans person, because they say that that's okay because it's part of somebody else's like beliefs, I guess. And I think that's kind of where Meta is headed. Is it's no longer about facts; it's about beliefs, and that's kind of America right now, anyways, which has
Yeah.
caused a lot of issues with my mental health. But yeah, I finally got away from it, and it hasn't bothered me like I thought it would. Every now and again, I'll like go to where it was on my phone by some weird auto like muscle response.
yeah. I get that.
Yep. But I'm glad to find that it's not there when I do that. So then I just put my phone down.
I'll never forget when I used to use Grindr as a validation source and hope to God people would have conversations with me and stuff like that. And how bad of a habit sliding over to that app was, because everything's in folders on my phone because I have God knows how many apps. And so I'd go to this folder and I'd always put it at the end because I'm like, oh, if it's at the end, you won't see it very much. No, there I was going flip, 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 billion times a day. And then after I finally told myself to delete it and stop using like dating hookup or something sites like that as validation, I just got rid of all of them and never gone back. Best feeling ever, by the way, when you start doing that. But for a good while there, it was almost like my thumb just did it.
Mm-hmm.
I would open that folder by habit, slide over, and then I'd be staring at it like, why am I here? It was just such a weird experience.
It's like going into a room in your house because you needed something out of that room, but not remembering what the fuck it is that you needed out of that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
a little bit like that.
That reason, I got up for a reason with an intention. It was just subconsciously my body's like, go to Grindr.
Yeah, that was. I got to tell you, not being on Facebook at least for a couple of days has been really nice. Like I'm getting to now where I'm like, oh, I don't really need to look at that, and there are other things that I can do on my phone if I decide I want to, or I can just avoid my phone in general.
Yeah, I'm struggling because so much of what I do depends on social media and stuff like that. So I'm just like, yeah, I have to be on this stuff. I hate it, but I like doing some of this stuff. Like I get excited when things work well. And so I'm in a very difficult position in my own head right now.
Yeah. I think it's hard to remove yourself from that, like from making it feel as though when you are using it, it is business and not somehow personally linked. Like I can see how that could be very difficult.
It's very, very difficult. Although I'd probably be smart if I just got rid of my personal accounts and only ran business accounts, and my life would probably be better.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how my habits around my phone change just by not having Facebook on there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the manual planner specifically for that, so I wouldn't have to save things on my phone and completely rely on that. So, and I will see how well I use it. I've been putting things in it, and I want to kind of block off my time, kind of like what you're saying, in a way that I can have the things that I need to do throughout the day schedule.
And the reason I do the phone calendar is because it feeds to like my Alexa and stuff like that. So I can also see it on my wall, Alexa thing. Also, I'm
quite sure how to help you with that.
Oops, I forgot to use my code name. Because he just talked to me. But I also do it because I'm really bad about forgetting to add things if I don't have it on me at the moment. And so a lot of times I'll be like, oh, let me add this to my calendar right now. So that's how I depend on it. And then I don't use my calendar unless it's a widget on my front screen so I can actually see my schedule. Otherwise, I forget it.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, there's a structure to get my brain to work right, and it's complicated.
Yeah, I did when I was working as an account manager for our business segment at the company I work for. Like I lived by my calendar. There was no way I could exist without it. I had to know everything from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day had to be on that calendar, or else it wasn't going to get done. And it was really more of I would find myself wandering off on rabbit trails.
Yeah.
And now it's more of like, there are things that I want to do, and I think putting them on a calendar will help me visualize doing them. So it's more of like, I'm putting these on here, and I'm going to start like holding myself to this, as a way to hold myself responsible to the goals that I want to accomplish for my own health, not just physical, but mental and spiritual health as well.
Yeah, if my weeks go like this on a regular basis, I'm going to have to schedule in like quiet time.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea. I even started writing like downtime on my calendar to be like, okay, after all this is done, downtime.
At work, I'm already scheduling, excuse me, the concept of like taking people from my old team out to coffee so I can just talk about like the concept of work for a brief moment, but then like make it a work meeting. But in general, it's just like, let's catch up.
Right.
It's kind of like that freedom.
Yeah, and I get that. Like
But the problem is I'm going to need that like every hour.
The problem for me is that I have like one coworker that I really talk to about work in any sort of real way. Everybody else gets like the surface level.
No, yeah. Yeah, I had a meeting today that just kind of made my head hurt a lot. And it wasn't even like about complicated topics. It was just the complicated manner that it was handled. And so it just like, when it was over, I feel like I'd like jumped out of a plane, was skydiving for a very brief moment, and then like my I don't know, my parachute came open and it wasn't, fully open, so I was just in a panic fall the rest of the way down. And then it popped open very last second, but I was right over a bunch of trees, and so it was just me going bouncing down branches. And then I flung onto the ground, which was not muddy. It was complete solid. Yeah. And then an animal came and shit up on me on the very last end of it. Like a bison.
It wasn't just solid
like,
ground.
hey.
It was just very spiky rocks.
And then I just got up and went, well, okay, everyone
That
feel
happens.
like did that meeting work out?
I had a meeting like that yesterday where we're talking about this issue we've been running into for the past like 4 months, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. Like I keep crunching the numbers and they keep adding up, which is very unfortunate because the numbers they're giving me back for our physical inventory are wrong. Like they don't match. So I've been trying to figure this out, and like we had my boss's boss on this call yesterday, and he's a super nice guy. I like him, but he was like, all right, now, Anthony, you've got this project you're working on to like crunch these numbers, blah, blah, blah. Can you get those back on XYZ day? And you get this project. And I was like, I wish I didn't have this project. In fact, I wish I could do anything else. Normally, I don't mind crunching numbers and looking for things and like running these analysis at work because it's, I enjoy it. But I've been doing it for so long at this point. I'm just like, I don't know. And yeah, so it just feels like it's funny because like last Thursday we did this additional count after we made this huge adjustment, and it was like a few $100,000 worth of adjustment, and then we had this month's count last Thursday, and the numbers came back, and I looked at it, I was like, fuck, it's the same, and this is like 1 month, and it's totaling up to like 3 months of like adjustment. And so it was just like I had just done exactly what you were talking about, which is like falling out of the plane and like my parachute not opening and landing on like this like all the like craggy rocks and stuff. and the bison came and shit on me, and I stood up and I was wiping it off my face. I was like, wow, that happened. But there was still bison shit in my eyes, and I fell off another cliff and started the whole process over again.
See, and for me, I feel like I'm just like now getting the shit off my face, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to walk in and a safari truck's going to plow over me.
It's going to be somebody else from the plane just lands on you.
It just keeps happening. Like every day a new person lands on me.
Is you're like getting up and they're all walking out and like they're fine, but you're breaking all of their faults because that's how work is.
Yes. I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30 that I'm just like, oh God, it is going to be a parachute guy landing on me.
Yeah, luckily I don't have that tomorrow. They're redoing the count tomorrow, but I told them like this go round. I told my boss's boss, I was like, I'm not going to do it specifically because I think somebody else needs to put their hands and eyes on this because I've been looking at it for 4 solid months and I'm still not able to find any answers. And so either I've gone blind to something or we just generally need another person to confirm that I'm not overlooking anything. So I've talked my way out of it, and it did make sense. Like I've let go of it for this go round because it makes sense to do so. Just in case I'm fucking something up, like maybe I am, who knows? But I think that was something that old Anthony couldn't have done at my previous job. I could not have let go of things. I would have taken it as like a personal assault on my ability to do my job, and now I'm just like, you can have it.
I love how nowadays I'm just like, oh yeah, you want it? Go for it.
Great. You can have it. You can take all of it.
The scene from Scary Movie 3 just popped in my head where she's talking to, I don't know, her nephew. And she's like, you know what your mom said? And she's like telling the story about how she got him. And her mom had the baby and she's like, hey, you want him? Take him. And that's just kind of nowadays how I treat projects at work. Hey, you want it? Take it.
But it's so nice to be able to say, you know what? I don't have to hinge my pride on this at work. I don't have to like say if I feel like I'm not doing something right, I can say that and not feel like it's not commentary on myself as like the quality of a person that I am. It just literally is. Maybe I'm messing something up and I need somebody else to look at it because a different set of eyes will see things differently than you. And I think that sort of transition that's a big thing for me because I used to just feel like if I couldn't do it, then I was a huge piece of shit.
Well, and I start looking at things as I have a lot on my mind in a lot of different angles of life besides work and personal and all. And it's kind of to the point now where when people are just like, do you want me to take that off your hands? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
That
please.
is one less thing I have to think about, and I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
I do not know how I used to do this without drugs regulating my brain.
I know exactly how I did it. I ended up having to go to the ER for severe panic attacks one day because and then I got on the drugs.
I don't know how I didn't have all these minty bees that I want to have now while I'm on drugs.
Oh God, I love a good minty bee though. I need to start getting into I need to get into doing meditation. That's like one of my goals this year is to get back to doing meditation.
I've been talking about
help me
reading
so much.
before I go to sleep because that was relaxing.
I need to start doing that again as well because that's what I used to do was the last hour of the day I spent in bed reading.
Yeah.
And so it would
will
just
not be
be
an
some
hour,
time to detox from a screen. It was nice to just relax. And we're redoing a couple of things in the bedroom. I don't know if I sent you a picture, but Joe got me that new console for the TV in the bedroom, which we didn't really have a TV in the bedroom until now.
Oh.
But he got me a little console that has one of those electric fireplaces with the heater and the LED lights and stuff. And so it's super cute. And the bedroom feels like a comfort zone.
Homey, yeah.
I love it. And now
That's
I feel
how my
like
living
I wanna
room
put up
feels.
decorations.
Because I did the little console with the fireplace on my TV. And I really like how it feels.
It's nice. It's really nice. The last few nights I've gone to bed because I put it together last Friday. And so the last several nights I've gone to bed with like just the fireplace on because it has a little timer option. So I set the timer for like a half hour and then I fall asleep and I don't have to worry about it being on while I'm sleeping.
Yep. And you can also set it without just like any heat blowing and it's just the light.
Yep. Yeah, I don't turn the heat on usually. We turned it on for the first time today just to see how it works.
It's the hottest day of the year. No, I'm kidding.
So far for but yeah, so we turned it on a little bit just to test it, but I mean, I haven't had to use it yet. I just like the way that I like the atmosphere it provides, you know?
Oh, I do too. I run mine all the time just because I like it. And then sometimes I'll be like, well, I guess I'll turn off the heat. But this last week when it was like 15 degrees out, glorious.
Yeah, we're talking about doing like a little movie date night where we just sit in the bed and watch movies and like,
oh yeah,
and eat finger foods and stuff and just throw caution to the wind. Am I sleeping with the crumbs? Probably, but you know what? It's fine.
Lay down a bunch of towels like you're about to have sex, but you're really eating chicken nugs.
You can do two things. First the sex, then the nugs. That's how it usually works around here.
You have to have sex for the nugs.
It's not that. It's just that I get hungry after sex. And so, you know, the nugs are there and I am hungry and they are air fryable, which is easier than having to prepare something.
Oh my gosh. I do remember way back in the day in my teens, somebody would like get ravenously hungry after sex. And I was like poor in college, so I didn't have any food. And he was just like, I just need something to eat. And I was like, well, I got this Hershey's bar. And he's like,
that was me actually. And it's still not, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to be really bad about it. And then I played World of Warcraft and one of my friends who I was in our guild, who I got to know really, really well. We would stay up late playing all the time. And she was a lesbian and she was like, you need to have mint chocolate chip ice cream after sex. And I was like, what? She's like, just do it. Next time after sex, first thing, eat that. Ever since then, oh my God, top tier A+, 100% one of the best things you can eat after sex is mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Speaking of mint chocolate chip ice cream, what was it? I got it over break from Ben & Jerry's, and I think it was just a seasonal. But it was like dark chocolate brownie peppermint or mint or something like that.
That sounds good.
And it was the tits.
You keep telling us about these seasonal Ben & Jerry's flavors, and we keep never finding them. Like, you'll tell us about them, and we will not be able to locate them anywhere.
Oh, so I've only gotten them at Target so far. I've never tried them anywhere else.
Oh, well, shit.
It was called Winter Wonderland, and it was dark chocolate mint ice cream with marshmallow swirls and chocolate cookie swirls. That's what it was.
Oh, that sounds good.
Let me
Listeners,
tell
never
you.
underestimate the power of ice cream to make you feel better.
It was delicious.
Oh my gosh, I love
Oh,
mint and
yeah, it
chocolate.
says limited batch, so.
I don't know what it is about mint and chocolate. I know some people hate it, but like,
I know.
I love it.
And it's so sad because, God, I love it so much.
Mhm.
God, I kind of want some mint chocolate chip now.
Peppermint mocha is one of my favorite things about the holidays. Like when
Me
peppermint mocha
too.
rolls around.
There's a little coffee shop by me that right now, they still haven't changed their specials, and one of them is the Winter Wonderland. And you can get dark or white chocolate, and it's peppermint in it. Oh, it's so good.
I feel like I want to do white chocolate right now. Really want sweets a lot.
So I did it once, and I was like, God, that's a lot of calories.
It's gonna be sweet as hell.
Oh my
That
God, it
sounds
was
so
so
good.
strong. Sorry, I'm actually trying to look up Ben & Jerry flavors right
Oh
now
my
at Target.
God. You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and you can do it as much as you want. Are you looking? This is the worst therapy session ever. You're the worst therapist there is. Looking up Ben
I'm
and
looking
Jerry's
this up
flavors in the
because
middle
I
of our
can't look it up.
session.
I can't look it up while I'm working out at the gym.
Yeah, you can. That's the best
No.
time to look at stuff like that.
Well, I don't even know why I'm going to the gym because afterwards I'm going to dinner and I'm going to Fassler Hall. So,
Well, I mean, that is one of the things that I liked about working out is it let me eat.
hey, it's still at Target, the limited batches, the mint chocolate.
God.
Good news.
I don't know if it's healthy to work out specifically so you can eat more, but
Oh my
it's part
God,
of
they have
why I
peanut
do
butter
it.
s'mores.
Jay, we have a minute and a half.
Sorry. Go get Ben and Jerry's. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Dying here. Completely derailed by Ben and Jerry's. This is probably
Welcome-
the most derailed therapy episode we've had.
Well, you should have been in my meeting today, and you would understand what derailed was.
Oh my
'Cause-
God.
At one point, I said, "Okay, so back to where we were," because I don't want you thinking that what we just discussed is a part of this, because that is not how the system works right now. It could work that way in the future, but and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, this is just a plan." I was like, "Ah."
We've been talking about the same thing at work, and I feel like there are a few people who are finding these other little issues, and I keep being like, okay, that's great that you're looking at that. But if that were the cause of the issue we're having, we wouldn't be short 40, 100,000 pounds. We would have a balance out, and we'd have to like write one off and write one back in. So I'm glad you're looking at it, but I need you to figure out why we are missing 400,000 pounds and not where we're writing in and out as like a balance, because that's not the issue we're dealing with. Anyways, the point is very similar experience where I'm like, hey, focus on the task at hand.
And that entire meeting was that. And it was like people asking questions that were all things we can just easily build QC reports for to just like verify that it's being accurate. And they're like, we check this every day for SOX compliance. And I'm just like, you can automate that. Like, you're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, at least. Till next week.
And we're out of time.
Thank you for joining us today on our show. As you can see, therapy is not always easy, but it can be very rewarding and healing.
If you want to follow our journey and see how we progress, tune in next episode for the continuation of We're Not Therapists, but We Need One.
Join us on our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, and email us at nopenotttherapists@gmail.com.
That's NOPENOTTHERAPISTS
We would love to hear your thoughts on our journey, or any questions you have that we can help answer. Until then,
Stay safe.
mental health is a serious and important issue that affects millions of people around the world.
If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, or have any other mental health conditions, you're not alone, and there is help available.
You don't have to suffer in silence or feel ashamed of your feelings.
There are many resources and support networks that can help you cope and heal.
Here are just a few.
The Crisis Text Line, which is a 24/7 service that connects you to trained crisis counselors who can help you with any type of emotional crisis. You can text HOME to 741-741 in the US or Canada, or 85258 in the UK, or 50808 in Ireland. You can also visit crisistextline.org for more information.
The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is a 24/7 service that provides free and confidential support for people in distress, as well as prevention and crisis resources. You can call them at 1-800-273-8255 or chat online at suicidepreventionlifeline.org.
The Headspace app, which is a meditation and mindfulness app that can help you reduce stress, improve your mood, and enhance your well-being. The app offers guided meditations, breathing exercises, sleep sounds, and other tools that can help you relax and cope with your emotions. You can download the app for free and try it for 10 days or subscribe for unlimited access to all features. You can find the app on the App Store or Google Play, or visit headspace.com for more information.
These are just some of the resources that we have found helpful, but there are many more out there that can suit your needs or preferences. The most important thing is to reach out for help when you need it, and to know that you are not alone. Mental health is not a weakness, but a strength, and taking care of it is one of the best things you can do for yourself and your loved ones. Until next time.